And the human side of cyber is something that I personally deal with quite a lot in the learning strategies that organizations come to me to kind of design. And at BSI, we design the, I guess, end-to-end experience of learners, and how we might actually do that is changing drastically from what it used to look like, where once a year you did a piece of compliance training, 20 minutes, all well and good, get 100% on your compliance and don't think about it again for 12 months. That can't happen anymore, I think. And we've got to do a little bit more around that. And the strategies that we're seeing now are a lot more multifaceted, if that makes sense. They're looking at the governance, they're understanding and educating that layer of organizations. They're looking at learning, and they're looking at learning that is about consulting with, engaging with teams, and understanding the specific things they're going to encounter every day in their jobs. But they're also looking at, how do we keep this top of mind? What is the approach that's going to support people to have that vigilance, to have that awareness, and also, I guess, to have those processes front of mind? And this is where I start to talk about the learning challenge of cybersecurity. It's what I call an adaptive challenge. It's constantly evolving, it's constantly changing. And so what we need to do is embed the principles in learning for our people, so that when the latest new threat that we haven't seen before comes along, they've already got a sense of how they might apply the learning that they've got to this new challenge. And I think, I don't know, I'm interested in your thoughts, Carla. That's the only way I think we can prepare workforces for the unknown.
I think Australia has introduced the National Cybersecurity Qualification for a reason. Australian qualifications are globally recognized around the world, and that's because our national qualifications are informed by industry, informed by emerging trends. There's nothing like the cyber landscape that's changing so much every day. The industry bodies that bring about that particular qualification work a lot with the ACS and the ACSC and AusCyber, etc. So the qualification is based on not just the requirements of what a vendor would need from a technology perspective, but from a governance policy framework, preparing technical people with the ability to also understand governance and policies and procedures and workflows. The other thing is, it sets a standard that professionals can follow for their cybersecurity framework. With a lack of a standard, you pretty much don't know what you're aiming for, or if the education program or the qualification meets benchmarking. So that's one thing that's happening at the moment. The other thing is the lack of entry-level cybersecurity professionals, because very often you'd say a cybersecurity professional literally finishes a master's degree or a bachelor's degree and a range of vendor certifications. It's almost like a 6 to 7 year process. That's not going to bridge the skills gap we have. The need for cyber professionals is almost looking at 22,000, 23,000 in Australia, and it goes into the millions for the world. But we're not producing enough entry-level professionals with just the amount of knowledge that they need to ensure that they can service small businesses or large organizations. This qualification allows you to do that, and there's progression. So nowhere in the country now you would need to be a master's degree cybersecurity professional. You could start at a Cert 4, you could get into a diploma and advanced diploma. And what employers can be really confident about is the qualifications kept up to date. It's upgraded literally every week with the emerging threats and new kinds of threats or changes in policy. So that's something that the industry works continuously.